Hey everyone, it's Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It is the day after debacle number 2. Where do we go from here? Can't go up? Well, yeah, I guess the only thing we can do is go up. But let's just get right into the heart of the matter. Everyone's saying Eli Manning's the issue. Eli Manning needs to be benched. We need to see Daniel Jones. I can't wait to see Daniel Jones. Let's slow down and back up for a few minutes here. I can think of many, many different people who basically said that Daniel Jones was a waste of a pick, that he could not do anything, that he was going to be nothing at all. And these are the same people now that cheered him like he was the Messiah his first preseason game against the Jets. I know fans are fickle, but come on, we're better than this, Giant fans. We have to be. We need to understand football. We need to understand how the game works. How we're missing some of this with some of these people, I really don't know. You can't boo someone on draft day and then think he's going to be your savior a few weeks later. Let's just look at the game itself. Eli did not have a great game. Eli did not have a bad game. Eli had a mediocre game. Eli had good protection at times, but if you actually watch the game, Eli's receivers basically got zero separation. And we've dropped the ball, of course, a couple times. But what really boggles the mind is we are trying to run a pro-style offense with quadruple A wide receivers. And again, that falls on Gettleman himself. I mean, you think about this for a minute. Flowers. Where did he come from? Nowhere. I mean, he had nothing. He's had nothing anywhere he's gone. Corey Latimer, the same thing. We got Cody, who we picked up at the end from the Bengals. Good special teams player. I mean, T.J. Jones. When T.J. Jones is the highlight of your receiving core, because of what he did return-wise and not what he's doing on the receiving end. I mean, there's something seriously wrong with that. Now, I know Sterling going out was in the concussion protocol was hurtful. It hurt the team. Same thing with Golden Tate going out. Golden Tate being suspended for 4 games is not helping our offensive cause whatsoever. They look great in preseason, but again, it is preseason, and will mostly be played against second and third team defenses. But I mean, Tate was coming in and is going to be that professional. It's going to be that wideout, going to be the OBJ replacement. But I find it interesting that Antonio Brown is being charged in civil court with rape and other heinous crimes, and he's not suspended by the NFL. He's not put on the commissioner exemption list. But Golden Tate, who went to the league office when he found out he took a banned substance, turned himself in, and it turned out that he was doing, taking these substances to try to have a baby. I mean, you get suspended for 4 games for mistakenly taking something and turning yourself in, and you don't even get put on the commissioner exemption list because you were charged in civil court with rape. I mean, what is that telling the NFL fans? What is that telling the fan base? I really don't know, but that's neither here nor there. So Eli, let's think what Eli is being blamed for. Eli's being blamed for his receivers not getting open. Eli's being blamed for the Buffalo Bills turning around and stuffing the run after the first series and making the adjustments. Eli's being blamed for Benny Flower dropping the ball. Eli's being blamed for our defense not being able to cover the slants. Eli's being blamed for our defense not being able to get any pressure on the quarterback. Yes, we did have 3 sacks, but that's too far in between. Eli's being blamed for DeAndre Baker not being able to cover anybody. Eli's being blamed for really the whole secondary sucking. I mean, Eli's being blamed for having a poor linebacking core. I mean, you know what? This week, the linebackers did play well. I liked starting Conley. I think that was a great move. He did get run over by Gore in the end zone. But who hasn't gotten run over by Gore in the end zone? Ogletree actually played well. The penalty against Dexter Lawrence, which was probably Eli's fault, was a ticky-tack foul, which should never have been called. Not that change the outcome of the game, but you know what? It's difference between getting 3 and 7. I mean, so you got to look at it that way as well. But Eli gets blamed literally for everything, which does not make any sense because of the fact that, he does not catch the ball. He does not get separation from the defensive backs. He does not play defense. The defense right now by Belcher seems to be poorly coached. That's the only thing I can think of. And I know Janoris Jenkins came out the other day or yesterday and said, hey, you know what? I can't cover a guy for 10 seconds. Well, you know what, Janoris? Watching the game, and watching it, you could see that you and Baker are giving cushions at times that are 7 to 9 yards deep on these receivers. We need to get up on the line. We need to jam these guys. We can't let them get a free running start because you know what? Evidently, we're not athletic enough to cover them once they get running out in the open because I still don't understand how a professional football team cannot cover the slant. I am dumbfounded by that. I mean, I know one was a pick play, but still, you need to be smart enough to recognize when a slant is being called. I mean, it's dumbfounding to me. The same with the issue with not being able to cover the tight end. Buffalo luckily does not have a fantastic tight end, so we weren't burned as badly. But we did get a couple plays that we should have probably picked up. Also, the blown coverages. It's amazing to me that some of these wide receivers were so wide open on Buffalo that there was not a giant defender within 15 yards of them. I mean, but again, that's Eli's fault. But, I mean, seriously, there was a couple plays that if Josh Allen did not overthrow his receiver and they had a leap to get the ball, if he hit them in stride, this score would have been 43-16. And again, we could not get off the field, which is Eli's fault. You cannot build up offensive continuity if you can't get off the field. Think about that for a second. The time of possession again killed us once more. We did come up with some better stops in the second half, but again, by that point in time, the game was already going downhill. You can't build up offensive continuity if the offense is not on the field. Let's just be honest about that, which is Eli's fault. And I think everyone sees the gist of the podcast as everything's Eli's fault. Eli couldn't find an opening to run, when he was given the ball, after his 54 yards in the first series, but that's Eli's fault. It's and what really bugs me is everyone's like, well, when does Daniel Jones come in? Well, you know what? You're 0-2. It's only 2 games of the season. If you pull the plug on Eli now and insert Daniel Jones, you need to leave Daniel Jones in for the next 14 games. That's all there is to it. You cannot go back to Eli. You can't do that to the locker room. You can't go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's, so you would have to sit there and grow with him or watch him struggle because everyone goes, well, Pro Football Focus said that he's the best player. No, that's crap. Well, Pro Football Focus is crap. And I've said that many times, and I think I've proven it on a couple other podcasts. They don't look at the whole. They say, well, you don't look at things in a bubble. Yeah, you do because you don't look at everything. You don't know what assignments were called. You don't know what adjustments were made at the line. You don't know what the players had in his mindset. You don't know. You don't judge talent levels that are on the field. If you have a 6th overall draft choice, and he's throwing against a quarterback that's going to be working at Pep Boys in September, there's a problem with that. You need to adjust your rankings with that. But right now, like I said, so everyone that's on the dump Eli bandwagon, you just need to stop. If you're going to be this stupid, go be a Jet fan, and that's what I tell people. If you want to be a Jet fan because they're the ones that don't really know anything. But let's get back to the defense. This is turning out to me to be probably the worst defense that I've seen ever. It's terrible. I do not know how to describe it. This is going back even to like the 70s. 73, we had a horrible defense and a horrible offense. We were 2-11-1. Even going back to like 71, where we started out 2-1, and then but we finished season 4-10. Again, we had a god awful defense, couldn't stop anybody. you even go back until like, you go back into the early 80s. Like in 1980, I think we were 4-12. We beat the Cardinals in the first week of the season, like 41-35. But then we lost and were outscored like 8 straight times. So we were outscored, I think, like 229-79. Again, our defense could not cover anyone. Defense could not do anything in those games. And honestly, I think we're heading towards the direction of being the worst defense that we have ever had. I mean, I thought like the defense, like I said, in the early, in 76 was terrible and 78 was terrible. But this is just worse. I mean, if you can't cover anyone, you can't get pressure on the quarterback. I mean, why are you even in the league? So we kind of need to just see if we can't, hopefully these young guys, and I understand that there are a lot of young guys on the defense, but hopefully they can gel sooner than later. If not, this is going to be a long, ugly season. I think maybe after week 6, if we are 1-5, 2-4, and we don't have any prospects of moving forward, you start slowly putting Daniel Jones in. I'm not saying pull 2004 with Kurt Warner and just pull him when we were 5-4 and to let Eli play because he's our future. But you know what? I'm saying if we're going to dump Eli after 2 weeks, we're giving up on the entire season. And that's a waste of another year of Saquon. And, so let's see if Belcher and Shermer can make some adjustments on the defense. Let's see if we can't figure out a way to generate a pass rush. Let's see if we can't figure out a way to get this rolling forward because honestly, this is the only hope that we have right now. So let's just all take a deep breath, relax. It's been 2 games. We started out 2007 getting blown out the first 2 games. Not that I'm saying that our team is anywhere near the 2007 team because we do not have OC. We do not have, we don't have Tuck. We don't have Pierce. We don't have Mitchell. We don't have Kiwanuka. We don't have anybody on defense that is showing anything right now. So let's just kind of wait and see what we're doing. Let's give it a couple more weeks. And again, if you're a Giant fan hitting the panic button and you're one of these idiots that's saying, get rid of Eli, you know what? Daniel Jones is the guy you booed. Let's just leave it at that. You booed Daniel Jones. So that's all I can tell you. And now he's your hero. Come on, guys. Get serious now. Let's support the team. Let's do what we need to do, but let's not be foolish about our decision-making process and blame Eli for everything. So, again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And let's see what we do going into Tampa next week. We will see and talk to you then.